Welcome to It's Not All Black and White. My name is Cera. I'm black.
I'm Matthew. I'm white. This is the Interracial Couple Podcast. Welcome.
So this morning I woke up feeling pretty overwhelmed because of what's going on in the world. But I think most of it is I've been lacking personal space in my house.
Yeah. So what did that look like for you this morning? What finally hit home, and what are the pieces that contributed to that?
I think one of the things we work from home and we have employees or interns. We have people and coming into a house Monday through Friday, and we also work from home Monday through Friday. And
then to make matters worse, I'm also here on Saturday and Sunday, so there's no space.
And our house is not that huge. We have a tiny house. It's enough for two people, but when you make it a home office, it's a lot, So there's I haven't been feeling like I go home. I've just been having this moment of I work from 9 to 5, and then I work again from 7 to 9 p.m. And then I repeat that process, and there's nowhere I feel like my house has become that place where it doesn't feel like home anymore. It feels just like a workspace.
But that also felt different when we went back, because early, last year basically, we didn't have so many people coming and going. It was this was generally our space, and that was also our workspace. It was our space, and we've chosen really to give that up.
Yeah.
But now it's at this point, there's also some repercussions to that choice.
Yeah, and I was one of the things I've noticed it kind of bothers me in some ways is the eating table is, because dinner used to be this special time where I take off and we have this conversation, but now we have 2 laptops and a computer and a monitor on the table that we eat on for dinner. And in some ways, I can't separate that, so...
It's kind of its work is always there, and there's just, there's a sense that it's not only the work, though, because that is one thing, but then how much of the work being on the table is also sort of a reminder, or just something that there's always this other energy, not just this home energy or fully able to relax energy?
I'm not sure. I feel I want to say maybe it's every person who run their own business. I feel I take my business with me everywhere at all time. I have to say I love what I do with a passion. I'm not complaining, but I kind of miss the days when I would go to work and go in at 8 and leave at 5, and I left my work at work.
But then how does that also relate to the sort of the constant, full house of people?
It's it's always there. I wake up in the morning, it's there. I go to bed, it's there. I haven't had this moment for a year and a half now where I can say I'm fully relaxed, So I don't even know what that means anymore. I feel even on weekends, we work on weekends, and I may take a break here and there and watch a few shows. But there isn't a weekend where I haven't done something that's related to work. And once I made Sunday where I look for grants to apply for my business. So Sunday is this day where it's I'm filling in applications, and yeah, if I'm not done on Sundays, I'll finish it Monday or Tuesday. But I'm feeling it, and even sometimes I want to just sleep in.
So I guess that's the other thing too, right? Is that if you end up working until 10 o'clock at night, there are still employees that show up at 8:45 or 9 a.m. in the morning, no matter how late you ended up working.
Correct. And then I feel I'm showing a bad example. I was I was trying in the beginning to be ready, prepared, dressed by the time they came to the house. But I was some days I just have I work late at night, and I have really bad sleep, and I have to sleep until I need the sleep. I have to sleep until 10, and I had to be okay with that. But that took some time. I feel I'm getting okay with that, but it doesn't look great. I prefer when my employees come. It's I'm dressed, I'm in the office. It's a good example, but also it's I'm putting up a picture, which I don't want, So there's I think there's a balance between like being a good example and faking it. Like, I don't want to fake it because I can only fake it so much because it's my house, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, then if you recognize that there's an issue or a problem or something that you want to, that's coming up into your life, is that something that you want to address or have an idea of how you want to address it? Or is it just in a matter of, I just want to acknowledge it because we're not going to move our office from our home right now. That's not an option for us. We actually need the people who are here to help us to continue to develop and grow what we're doing. So what do you do in that situation?
I think just talking about it. Like, I don't think there's anything. Like, I like the people. Like, first of all, it's like I like that people are here. So it's not just you and I all the time.
Yeah, that's really good because it was only me all the time. Like I had to deflect a little bit.
So it has changed the nature of our work, where it feels like, oh, this is a fun environment to work. But I also have to recognize that they go home and I'm left in the environment. So I think it's good to talk about it and just like recognize, and like even on Friday now, that's like maybe it's clearing out the table and doing the extra work and just making dinner be dinner. Like making our table be a dinner table. And that takes a little bit more work, but then that maybe is what needs to happen.
Right.
Because, I agree. We're not going to move and we can't afford an office at the moment. So this
is where we're going to be.
Things are the way they are. But I think it's good to talk about it so that I get to accept that things are the way that they are. So
this is maybe slightly off topic, but you just said, I just need to acknowledge it. And I think that that's an important piece of this, because so often when there's a problem, we think there needs to be a solution. Like, what do we do about it? And sometimes there actually is nothing to do about it except change the outlook on it, Yeah. So that to me is kind of interesting. Just hearing you say that is that I just don't need to say it. I need to acknowledge it, not change it, but maybe change my relationship to it by speaking the way it is for me, and then just, maybe something will shift, or something else will come up, but just acknowledging it is a good place. Because it's also, to me, it's become, I didn't feel it as strongly as you were feeling it. But we've joked about this a bit, where like if you and I are having a challenge one day, like we had this day where we're like, we think we talked about it on an earlier podcast when we were packing everything up to ship your products to America. And we got in a fight, and all of a sudden it's like, well, now nobody's going to talk. And we can't really talk because we have a house, a home office / house full of people. And we've already done a little bit of dirty laundry airing, so we're just going to kind of let it go. And just this kind of tension, because we couldn't just say, you know what, we're going to go into the other room. We're going to go home. Let's just go home and deal with this out there. I have an idea. You stay at the office and I'm going to go home so we can have a little space. And those things just